People of the world, episode 53, Marketing as a Foreign Language. Today, new reports underline Facebook's role in exacerbating political divides. But will Facebook take action? TikTok times two. Number one, TikTok stands firm as White House makes September deal deadline official. And two, TikTok announces first recipients of funding via its new creator fund. Twitter has updated its warning prompts on potentially harmful tweet replies. What the heck does that mean? LinkedIn publishes new guide on how to make best use of its platform. How will we do that? And YouTube will stop sending email notifications to alert channel subscribers to new content. Marketing as a Foreign Language starts right now. Okay, class. Have a seat, sit down, get comfortable. New reports underline Facebook's role in exacerbating political divides. But will Facebook take action? Just off the top, I can say, don't people just have opinions? And don't they take their opinions to Facebook? Is this Facebook's problem? As part of the ongoing investigation into potential antitrust activity among U.S. tech giants, the CEOs of Google, Facebook, Amazon, and Apple all recently appeared before the U.S. House Judiciary Committee, where they were asked a range of questions, a veritable range about concerns on how their companies operate. And one of those queries was particularly pertinent as we head into the 2020 U.S. election period. In his allotted time, Representative Dave Sisselin, perhaps, posed this statement to Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. He said, Facebook is profiting off and amplifying disinformation that harms others because it's profitable. This isn't a speech issue. It's about Facebook's business model that prioritizes engagement in order to keep people on Facebook's platforms to serve them more advertisements. Correct. That is correct. This is their model of profit. The representative has done it. Is that true? Does Facebook profit from division? Of course they do. And the engagement that it generates. In his response, Zuckerberg predictably said that this is incorrect. Oh, come on. Seriously? Come on, man. That is as about obvious as the sky is blue. Most of the time. Sunsets, obviously. Not so much. Turns out Facebook is profiting, obviously, off of these posts that are getting a ton of engagement that have questionable information. Why would Zuckerberg say no? It doesn't make any sense. He says Facebook shows people, quote, what's going to be the most meaningful to them. Really? What's the difference between Facebook is profiting off and amplifying disinformation that harms others because it's profitable and what's going to be the most meaningful to them? What if the most meaningful content is disinformation that harms others? Then what? Not just what's going to generate the most engagement, apparently. Sisselin then followed up with an example of a recent COVID-19 conspiracy video that racked up 20 million views in 5 hours on Facebook. Quote, a lot of people shared that. Zuckerberg responded. Oh, man. What are you supposed to do? If you're Zuckerberg, what are you supposed to do? How many do you do it just based on like how popular the posts are? Would you, okay, all right, police Facebook, okay. Let's play police Facebook. Is it when a video gets more than 100,000 views that it goes into a funnel where first an algorithm attempts to detect whether or not it's fake, and then literally a person does, and then they investigate whether or not it's disinformation based on someone literally watching it. At a certain point, isn't it important that the people who are sharing the garbage take some personal responsibility for the fact that they're sharing garbage or ingesting garbage? This is like getting angry at McDonald's for serving burgers. I don't eat meat, marketers. At least not right now. And that's a choice I'm making for my health. You understand? Like, I'm not going to get angry at McDonald's for throwing an ad out there saying, eat our gigantic meat burger. That's not upsetting to me. In the same way that if I go into Facebook and I see a COVID-19 conspiracy video that's garbage, that's on me. Isn't it? Isn't it on me to not like and share? So does that mean that it was, quote, meaningful to them? Is Zuckerberg being disingenuous by sidestepping the specifics of the query? Well, yeah, he is. So is Facebook profiting off of garbage? Of course they are. Of course they are. So this is one of the key elements, according to the article, of debate in the broadening political divide. What role does social media and Facebook specifically have in exacerbating existing societal division? Well, what role do they have? They have the role of being a gigantic organization with a lot of people with a lot of opinions. And so to what extent should they police their website? So you could make the argument that, you know, if someone is threatening to kill someone else, that's a police matter, right? That's a legal matter. You get somebody in and, you know, they're threatening to kill someone else. It's like, call the cops, right? You report it to the police. Like there are threats against this person's life. That's a police matter, right? And then there's, I'm sharing this video. That's a doctored video of Donald Trump saying something he never said, or Obama saying something he never said, or whatever. And as consumers, we have to get better at identifying garbage, right? And not ingesting garbage. I mean, it's just like the food we eat. You know, Americans are often criticized for having terrible diets. You may have a wonderful diet. I'm not talking to you. Let's say you have a garbage diet. Well, there is a certain amount of personal responsibility in regards to whether or not you should be consuming that. And the same is true of the information we consume. It has an effect on our brains. This is one of the key elements of debate in the broadening political divide. What role does social media and Facebook specifically have in exacerbating existing societal division? Ugh. So if you shut down Facebook, what's going to happen? There will be something to take that place. And if Facebook hunker down too much and it becomes too restrictive, and let's say you're trying to share something, you're trying to share a post that won't let you, or you share something that Facebook deems inappropriate and it doesn't get any reach, well, you know, there's going to be fewer and fewer people on the platform, and people are going to want to go to the fun new platform that doesn't censor you and tell you what to think or do. So there's always been a level of debate from both sides of the political spectrum, but it does seem to have become more pronounced and more influential in recent times. And the biggest change within that period is the number of people now getting their new news content from social platforms. Yeah, it's a problem. I'm not saying that if there is like a legitimate, hateful white supremacist group on Facebook that is spewing garbage all over the internet in an attempt to rain a dumpster fire of misinformation, that's not a problem. That's a problem. So multiple choice test. Does Facebook shut down the page? Does Facebook censor their posts? Does Facebook call the authorities? Like, what would you do if you were wave the magical wand and you could just eliminate information from Facebook? Well, I could make the argument that you would just shut down the page for blatant hate speech. And I don't think too many people would be angry about that, right? So that's a fairly clear-cut example. What's another example? let's say like a Second Amendment page. Let's say there's a Second Amendment page on the internet and it starts saying some things that are right on the edge of what people would deem crazy or like whatever. What was the word? Disrespectful or threatening, I think, is probably the line. So what would you do then? You shut it down. You don't shut it down. And then Facebook's got an entire infrastructure that they would have to figure out. Zuckerberg's not making these decisions. Who's making these decisions? Someone who works at Facebook, who probably is designing an algorithm to flag these things. I think there was actually an entire department, if I remember correctly, of people that were having PTSD because it was their job to look at the worst of the internet and basically edit it out. So it's not like Facebook isn't already doing this. Facebook is doing this. They've got entire teams of people that consume this garbage content and go home and have nightmares because it's just the worst of the worst. And if it violates any of the guidelines, they do ban it, right? So they're already doing this. And so what do we want from them? What do you want from them? Leave it in the comments. What do you want from Facebook? Do you even care about the policing of Facebook? What do you want? Chat, what do you want, listener? Facebook algorithm does prioritize engagement. Yeah, duh. If you post something that generates a lot of shares and discussion, that will ensure your subsequent posts get more reach, as Facebook's system looks to get more people involved in such exchanges in order to keep them on the platform for longer. That's altered the incentives for news publishers with respect to how they publish. An opinion piece titled "COVID-19 is a hoax, here's the real truth" will generate more response than one with the headline "Scientists have been studying COVID-19 for years." Well, I suppose that's true. Both articles could have the same content, but one headline is more salacious. This is just an age-old thing. TikTok stands firm as White House makes September deal deadline official. It's official, marketers. As official as it can be. On Thursday evening, the White House issued an executive order signed by U.S. President Donald Trump, which will effectively see TikTok banned in the U.S. if it is not sold to a U.S.-owned business by that time, forcing the hand of TikTok. The order details the case against TikTok, including claims of potential censorship and its process of gathering vast swaths of information from its users. This data collection threatens to allow the Chinese Communist Party access to Americans' personal and proprietary information, potentially allowing China to track the locations of federal employees and contractors, build dossiers of personal information for blackmail, and conduct corporate espionage. Oh, fun. TikTok, the dance app. TikTok has already been banned from U.S. military-issued devices for this reason, while the Senate this week passed a bill that will see the app banned from all government-issued devices. TikTok also reportedly censors content that the Chinese Communist Party deems politically sensitive, such as content concerning protests in Hong Kong and China's treatment of Uyghurs, I'm mispronouncing that, and other Muslim minorities. This mobile application may also be used for disinformation campaigns that benefit the Chinese Communist Party, such as when TikTok videos spread debunked conspiracy theories about the origins of the 2019 novel coronavirus. Last September, The Guardian published leaked details from TikTok's moderation guidelines, which included instructions to censor videos that mentioned Tiananmen Square, Tibetan independence, etc. So, it's official. TikTok gonna go away if not sold to a U.S.-owned business by September. How many businesses are there? International businesses. Like, what a precedent, right? That a government can say, hey, look, we're shutting you down. So your value is going to effectively drop to zero. You have to sell to one of our people at pennies on the dollar of what you're probably worth. because we don't like the way you behave. Holy smokes. So like, let's say, so this, whatever you feel about the Communist Party in China, just separate that from your brain for just a second and just look at maybe a different example of like, we are already not in China for many of our apps, which is probably a bad example. But let's say Facebook in Australia. Australia's like, we're done with you. We're going to cut off all your Australian workers unless you sell the Facebook, you sell Facebook, basically, Australia, to an Australian company. What? It's crazy. It's crazy that this is happening. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's nuts. It's totally nuts that the government of the United States is basically manipulating the price of TikTok USA massively. Huge change. And I wonder how other countries are going to react to this and go, maybe we can do that too. And all these different countries are trying to like gobble up international business using government as a tool to do so. Wouldn't surprise me if this is something that continues on in the future and if this sets a precedent for that. So TikTok announcing first recipients of funding via its new creator fund. So they continue forward after first announcing its $200 million creator fund last month, which would see the platform's top creators get paid for their work, which was then boosted to $1 billion following reports that Facebook was looking to poach top TikTok stars for its new Reel products. We covered that in a previous episode. TikTok has today announced the first recipients of its grant funding, while once again upping the potential scope of the program to ensure more TikTok stars are remunerated for their efforts. This is, of course, from Social Media Today. Andrew Hutchinson is writing, as per TikTok, quote, "We recently announced our TikTok Creator Fund to further support creators of all sizes and backgrounds through earnings that reward the passion and dedication they put into inspiring, uplifting, and entertaining the TikTok community. This fund will reach hundreds of thousands of creators, starting with $200 million and growing into $1 billion. So it's gone from 200 million to 4 times that and double that again. So TikTok pushing hard to stay alive. So Facebook has reportedly been offering lucrative deals to top TikTok stars in order to get them to post to Instagram Reels instead. Those deals are not necessarily exclusive. So amid all the discussion around the potential takeover of TikTok and its massive $30 billion valuation, one question that's been largely overlooked by most is whether the platform is actually worth that. What is TikTok's actual value? Who knows? Twitter has updated its warning prompts on potentially harmful tweet replies, according to Social Media Today. After testing them out over the last few months, Twitter has today announced a new update for its warning prompts on tweet replies, which it detects may contain offensive comments. So here in the screenshot, we have, you had feedback about prompts to revise a reply, so we made updates. If you see a prompt, it'll include more info on why you received that. Excuse me. We've improved how we consider the context of the conversation before showing a prompt. So here we've got a prompt here. Want to revise this, says the prompt, to keep Twitter safe and open. We're asking people if they want to revise replies that were detected as potentially harmful or offensive. Cleve writes, this is a mean tweet that features the words blank and needs to be flagged. And so there you've got it. Revise, delete, send. Wow. As explained by Twitter, if someone in the experiment tweets a reply, our technology scans the text for language we've determined may be harmful and may consider how the accounts have interacted previously. I can think of a number of words that would get flagged in this particular way. The policing continues. After its initial trials, Twitter has now improved its detection methods for potentially problematic replies and added more detail to its explanations, which could help users better understand the language that they're using and maybe reduce instances of unintended offense. Of course, some people see this as overstepping the mark, that Twitter is trying to control what you say and how you say it, free speech amendment, etc. Oh, that's so funny. Andrew Hutchinson is so over this stuff. He just, at this point, he just goes, what's he write? He writes, how you say it, free speech amendment, etc. etc. According to Andrew, it's really not. The prompt sparked by previously reported reply simply aimed to help eliminate misinterpretation and offense by asking users to reassess. So I guess if you can just plow through, it's just annoying. If you're just saying stuff that, isn't offensive, but it's getting flagged as offensive. And let's say you're trying to say something offensive. How many people is this going to stop? You know what I mean? Say you write something offensive and you get this thing that says, want to revise this? It says revise, delete, send, right? You hit the send button. You're like, stupid. It's not like it's actually stopping you. That's so stupid. That is so stupid. LinkedIn publishes new guide on how to make best use of its platform. LinkedIn has published a new guide to help social media managers make best use of the various tools the platform has to offer. You know what I want? I want to take a look at LinkedIn stock. LinkedIn stock. How you doing today, LinkedIn stock? What? Do you not have stock? Stock price. Come on, Google, give me a chart. No chart. 195 bucks. 52-week high 239. So not up. Let's check out Pinterest stock, shall we? Pinterest stock had a pretty big jump not too long ago. There we go. Holding steady. Holding steady. All right. LinkedIn explains, quote, so how do we drive the business outcomes we want to see through our day-to-day work in social? How do we strike the right balance between being witty and serious? Just ask me. And finally, how do we choose the right social media platforms to partner with to help amplify our voices? These are all questions we'll be tackling in the guide. Oh, great. It's a 32-page guide. It's split into 5 parts. 32 pages. Who's got time for a 32-page guide? We do. Let's check it out. The Social Media Manager's Guide to LinkedIn. Oh my gosh. This, of course, is from the article on Social Media Today. LinkedIn publishes new guide on how to make best use of its platform. Look at this guide. I don't see a guide here. Explore the guide. Let's explore. A PDF. Look at these 2 marketers. Oh, thrilled to be using the LinkedIn platform. Thrilled to be posing for that photograph. A series of tip sheets that can help enable your success on social. Thank you, Steve. Look at Steve. Oh my gosh. I trust him just implicitly based on that photo alone. Your business case for investing in social. Is this just a gigantic infographic? It appears to be. Reflect what's happening in the larger world of social media and in your business. These days, that means bridging the gap between your audience and their dwindling trust in brands. I cannot stand. Why do I hate PDF so much? Do you guys know why? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Why social media managers should spend time on LinkedIn? Because it's a massive social media platform. That's why. Don't ask me questions that I already know the answer to. On LinkedIn, we've assembled the right audience, the world's largest professional community numbering over 660 million members. There's a fact for you. 70% of our members are outside the US. I don't know if that's a selling point for Americans. LinkedIn is available in 24 languages. Your time is better spent on LinkedIn. Your time is better spent on LinkedIn is because... Oh, this is quite the sentence. Your time is better spent on LinkedIn is because you can reach the right professionals in the right mindset to drive organic engagement. Hey, LinkedIn, if you're going to put a guide out, maybe avoid sentences like, your time is better spent on LinkedIn is because. Oh, it makes me so happy that I found a typo. 97% of B2B marketers use LinkedIn for their content marketing efforts. Oh, good. Time on LinkedIn is time well spent. Like any profession, SMMs should be well exposed to all aspects of their expertise since they all, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm so bored by this. Who is reading this entire thing? Who? Ugh. Make your LinkedIn page the destination. Quality content. It's always been quality content. If you want to read what appears to be a very boring 32-page PDF on LinkedIn, then there you have it. Business.linkedin.com. Build trust. Yeah, no thanks. YouTube will stop sending email notifications to alert channel subscribers to new content. Social media today, writer Andrew Hutchinson. Here's an important note for YouTube channel managers. As of August 13th, 2020, YouTube will no longer send out email notifications to your channel subscribers whenever you upload a new video. Wow. As per YouTube, if you're opted in to get emails about new uploads, live streams, and premieres from channels you're subscribed to, these emails are going away. Though you'll still get notified on mobile via the YouTube app or on desktop via your Chrome browser if you've turned these notifications on. Whoa, major change. According to YouTube's internal data, less than 0.1% of these emails are ever opened, while users have also complained that such notifications are an annoyance in their ever-cluttered inboxes. YouTube also notes that important emails about changes to your accounts, service announcements, etc. will not be impacted. That's a big change. So, is it Facebook's job to determine what should be on the platform? Yes. Yes, it is. Could they be doing a better job? Of course they could. Is Mark Zuckerberg waking up and getting whatever he wants that money can buy? Probably. So, Mark Zuckerberg would prefer to focus on the positive, on the idealistic view of social media being a connective tool that unites the world for good. But that's not what's happening, according to Andrew. And the company needs to realign with how it's actually being used for the dark corners of the internet. Good luck, Facebook. TikTok is going to get shut down. We're going to try to devalue them. We means, of course, not we, but the government of the United States. And then someone's going to swoop in and buy them, apparently. Meanwhile, TikTok is frantically trying to keep everyone. $200 million creator fund, trying to get their creators paid for their work, trying to keep them on the platform. Twitter is telling you if you're an idiot. Twitter is letting you know if you are making poor decisions with your life. And you can just hit the send button anyway. LinkedIn publishes a new guide. That guide is garbage, and it has a terrible typo in it. Okay, maybe it's not a complete dumpster fire, as I clearly have not read it, but I don't know. You want to read this guide? How about you read the guide and you tell me if you like it? YouTube will stop sending email notifications to alert channel subscribers to new content because 0.1% of them are actually ever opened, and they fill your page with, what's the word? Emails you'll never open. Ladies and gentlemen, this was a joyful experience to share with you. Hit the like button if you want to support the channel. Leave a comment if you want to support the channel. This was episode 53, our best episode yet, by far. If anyone wants to subscribe, now would be a great time to do that. 10:59, so much Tuesday, so much August 11th. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Same time, same place.